Can I use a traditional Taiwanese day market to cook a Western dish, say an Italian pasta? Well, that's what I want to find out today because it has been a very long time since I've cooked anything here in Taiwan. For whatever reason, I completely lost interest in cooking over the past few months. I've cooked nothing. But today, I'm going to change that because it has been getting quite hot here in Taiwan, and I thought it'd be kind of nice to cook something for hot weather. A Western dish, a pasta dish, some shrimp scampi. It's fresh, it's delicious. But I wanted to show how I can cook things here using a traditional Taiwanese day market. Obviously, I can't find everything for this dish, although it is quite simple. So the only things I really need to buy are shrimp, lemons, and garlic. So I'm gonna head over to the day market, buy those ingredients, go back to my kitchen, cook those things up, and yeah, just enjoy this nice relaxing Sunday. I'm kind of excited to be able to be back in the kitchen again. Someone left trash in this U-bike, and I promise it wasn't me. Taiwanese night markets are usually the ones that get all the attention, but personally, I like the day markets. They're really exciting and often overstimulating because they're just so vibrant. There's so many colors and ingredients, from like fruits to veg to meat, and there's people walking around, things to see, things that are familiar, things that are not so familiar. I love to walk through them even when I'm not cooking, just to look around. They even have like fully prepped meals like sushi you can just have if you don't feel like cooking. They are cool, but you do feel very out of place as a foreigner since most of the people walking around day markets are kind of older people that are searching for ingredients so that they can cook at home for their families, and so it's kind of fun to interact with them because they don't really know English, and so it's kind of interesting to see them sort of try to sell their stuff, or maybe just not even. I often just kind of get ignored or stared at from a distance because it's so weird to see a foreigner in a day market and not shopping around, you know, like a grocery store like foreigners normally do.需要虾子4个吗？可以吗？可以吗？So these 3 ingredients I bought from the day market cost me 200 NT, which is about the same you would pay for like an okay pasta at a restaurant. So you could be forgiven if you don't want to cook this at home, considering it's probably going to cost you more. The things I couldn't find at the day market were white wine, butter, and your choice of Italian pasta. Now, the first thing I got to do is prep the shrimp. So living in Taiwan is really easy. You can get really nice fresh shrimp, and to peel them is easy, but it's just kind of gross because you either have to pull off the head, or you can take some scissors, peel back sort of like the skull, I guess if you want to call it that, and then just chop it off. Then you want to take your scissors and kind of run it down the spine of the shrimp all the way down to its tail, and that's going to do 2 things. It's going to be easier to sort of peel off the shell, and you can get all the meat out in one piece rather than, you know, pulling it apart and making it gross. You want to save the shell in like a bowl or something for later. I'll show you what to do. The other thing it does is it lets you pull out the intestinal tract, which is all kind of gross stuff and you don't want. For the garlic, just smash it to get it out of its skin and then slice it up into however big or small slices you like. It doesn't really matter too much. If you have fresh parsley, now's the time to chop it up, prep that. If you don't, it's fine. You can just skip it or use dry parsley. It doesn't really matter. Another issue I have is that obviously in most Western countries, lemons are yellow, but here they are green. At least I'm really hoping that this is a lemon. We shall find out. Smells like a lemon, it looks like a lime, but I don't know. It said lemon on the sign at the shop. But it'll have to do, something citrusy. Next, you want to get some fire going to get a pan decently hot, say like medium heat. You want to cover the bottom of the pan with some olive oil and then get another burner going for your pasta water. Make sure that's nice and hot, and always, of course, salt your pasta water. Next, stick your shrimp inside the olive oil and cook it until the shrimps kind of turn like an orange. You're basically flavoring the oil and then add some wine. Make sure your heat is on so high that you scare the crap out of yourself, splattering wine all over your kitchen, making a mess. Obviously turn down your heat. Put in some lemon juice. Make sure that the lemon is too hard so you can't squeeze any out.
as the shrimp cooks, it's gonna flavor all of those liquids. Get your pasta in, and then once the shrimp shells are cooked, drain them in a fine mesh strainer, and then pour out all of that flavored sort of shrimp stock, if you will. You're gonna wanna use a pair of tongs or something to push the shells through the mesh to get all juices out of there. Every drop of that is precious. Put your pan back on the heat with some olive oil. Cook your garlic for like 2 or 3 minutes until the edges start to turn brown. And that's when you're gonna wanna put in some chili flakes if you want it spicy. If you don't want it spicy, that's fine, you can just skip that. Shake that around a bit just to get her cooking. And then you're gonna wanna add back in that juice that we made earlier, that sort of stock. My pan was on way too hot and it splattered everywhere again. Obviously turn down your heat. Now you wanna put in your shrimp, sort of layer it over the sauce. That sauce is gonna cook into the shrimp. You can see sort of under the shrimp, it's starting to turn orange, and that's how you know it's beginning to cook. And also earlier, you probably should have added some butter, which I just did. I totally forgot. So make sure you have some butter. Flip over the shrimp once you've got some nice color on one side. You don't want to overcook the shrimp, so make sure your pan's on like kind of low heat. Once that's all done and your pasta is like 2 minutes away from being al dente, transfer it into the pan without dropping any. None at all. Yeah, that's pretty gross. I'm gross. The idea here is that you want to cook the pasta in the sauce so that the pasta absorbs the flavor. And if you find your pan's getting too dry, you can just grab some pasta water and add it to the sauce, and that'll add some salt and extra flavor and make it a little bit creamier. Shake that around, mix it all together, and you're done. It's basically time to plate. Another trick I like to do is to slice a lemon peel kind of in half, and then you can kind of bend it around and make a nice little garnish if you want. So here you have it. My summer dish, a shrimp scampi. It turned out darker than I thought it would because I think my chilies are a little bit oily and I put a little bit too much oil, so it turned a bit red, but whatever. I still imagine it'll be good. And yeah, all you need is a few ingredients and you get a nice, fresh, tasty, garlicky, spicy, lemony dish. It's really yummy. It's great. It's so refreshing. It's not like heavy like other pasta dishes are. It's so good. I would highly recommend making this, even if you're not in Taiwan. It just has all the good summer flavors you want. But anyways, I'm gonna enjoy this for my dinner. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week for another video. Stay positive, keep your stick on the ice. Bye-bye. Let me know if you guys want to see any other dishes you want me to cook from a market. I'd love to challenge myself.
I want to see more.
Comment below what you want to see. If that's not enough, Alan and I have a podcast called the Alan and Prozzy Podcast.
75 episodes of chat between me and Prozzy.
A ton of extra content for you guys to check out, so that'll be linked in the description below. Alan has just released a video eating 5 foods you can only find in Taichung.
Yep, go check it out.
Yeah, and
there's a link up in the top left that Prozzy will never put there.